Tony here, coming to you with the latest update of my Lego Hogwarts MOC series. And today we're over here, and as you can see, there is a new section that was not here before. This whole building is what I've been working on since last time. Now, what is this? This is some people call this part of the entry hall. Some people call it something else. Basically, this is the connection building that is connecting the Great Hall to the grand staircase, which is supposed to be around here. Now, obviously the roof, I have used these pieces here because I'm all out of these and I wanted just to complete it for now. I'm going to talk a little bit about the exterior before I pull this thing out and show you what I've done. Now, this building itself is a bit iffy. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you watch the movies, it's from inside, it's a little bit difficult to determine what kind of role it plays, because especially in the later movies, the corridor that comes, obviously you enter the Great Hall from here, and then there is the entry hall before you go into the Great Hall itself. And there is this corridor to the right that leads to these numerous staircases. But when you look at the castle from the outside, that can't really be the case because this building is longer. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I decided to take a lot of liberties with the insides and the interior of this building. Basically using the space in various ways to place this and that I will show you. So it's not really 100% accurate. I don't know what that even means anymore, especially to some sections that we've not really seen properly and some sections that we've seen so many changes done over the course of the movies. So yeah, you be the judge of what I'm doing. Now, one thing I want to mention here is this line here, this line of dark bluish gray. Now, these are obviously tiles that I've placed, and because I don't have these kind of tiles in tan currently, I have placed them in dark bluish gray, but they will be replaced, and very easily as well, the way I've built it. So this will not really stick out. It will be kind of part of everything. And I've decided to extend this idea here with the reddish brown and this line here, so the roof kind of fits perfectly. One more thing, I know looking at the building right now, this kind of looks out of place. Ideally, this should be kind of in the middle of this whole section. However, the way this is set up, this area here that kind of looks empty, once we raise the roof, which will go upwards over here, and it should reach kind of this section here when we raise it. So this square over here will be kind of covered by the roof. So this thing will kind of stick out properly. But right now it kind of looks weird, but once we place the roof, it will look a lot better. And I believe it will be fine. Okay, so now let's pop the roof up. I will try to do this with one hand. This is kind of basic roof that I've just built, just so it kind of represents the height as best as possible, and it's not very heavy. As always, I might change it eventually, and I'll try to, there we go, remove this. And let's put it over here. Okay, now let's show the building from the other side. Now I've tried to be as accurate as possible. Again, on the other side, we should have 2 windows like this and then 2 below. And I've done my best to make sure that these windows kind of look similar to this and to the whole kind of design of the rest of the Great Hall windows. Again, we have the plates here that are sticking out as a sore thumb, but again, we'll replace them very easily. Now, I have done some peculiar things here. Let me show you from the angle of the Great Hall. So basically, this end here is the angle that you should use when you enter basically the Great Hall from here and you go to the right. So this is what you see. And you should be on this floor. This is the underground floor, basically, that leads to the, I wish this was a bit more, yeah, that leads to the kitchens. Now I'm going to pop off this section here. So you can kind of see, and there's this door that I've placed, and below, I wish I could really show you better, but there are these stairs over here. I'm planning to put some lights in key sections, so when I show things, it's a lot easier, but I really don't want to put lights just yet, because as always, things could change. But basically, from this door, in this corridor, you go to this door, and then from this door, there is a stairwell over here, and this lighting is terrible, I know, I apologize, but you come down here on this stairwell, and then you face over here this corridor that leads to everything else that is down here that I've shown you before. The kitchens, the Hufflepuff common room, hidden entrance, and everything else. Now I've used this whole second floor, but actually it is the first floor, as we will call this floor -1, to place some trophies. I know that the trophy kind of section where, for example, Harry sees his father's name and stuff in the first book are supposedly located somewhere else, but I decided this is a good way and a good place to put some things like that, and it wouldn't be so much of a issue if I placed them. So one section is over here, and I've created this little kind of corner, basically that I've used, and I've placed basically as many things as I could, as creatively as I could. Don't know if the Triwizard Cup should belong here or not, but why not? Kind of like a little bulletin board if you want. A few random trophies, and you know what this is. Thought that this little guy is little. It's a good idea to place him here. A chocolate frog. Now when you go down this corridor, I've decided to make this thing as a little door, so you can open it and easily see this section here. Now I could have done it obviously as a full wall, and I might end up changing it again, but I kind of always want to have access to things that are worth seeing. So there isn't really any point to place something interesting somewhere and then to have no way to show it or to take a picture of it or to play with it, even, if you will. For example, I've placed one chocolate frog over here, which I'm sure you can't see, especially with this camera and this lighting, but then you can't really see it, can you? So there isn't really any point. But here, you could easily see. Now I've used this pre-built kind of model for the trophy and James Potter's name on the shield. And I've modified it a little bit because it was not as long. I've kind of added one stud of space just to make it a bit longer, so it covers this whole wall, so it doesn't really stick out, and we could use the space better. And I've used the things that came with the set, placed this little broom here, and placed a little snitch and this little crown kind of element, which could represent a trophy of some kind. And I think it looks nice. And it makes sense for the trophies to be kind of spread out in this corridor. Now there is this little other space over here that I'm not really sure I can show you, but basically I've placed the windows in such a way that the window on the other side, obviously there are two windows here, right? But one of them is exactly opposite of this window. Because the idea of me looking through a window and then seeing a wall or something clunky over there, it's not nice. So you kind of see the other side, which to me looks nice. I don't know if it's right, but otherwise it would bother me. But my point is that over there is this little section. It's kind of three studs wide. So basically, I mean, if you can stand there and look through the window, we can kind of place something there. But for now, it's empty. Now, this side here, basically the stairwell that leads down to the kitchens. I've not really decided what to place here, so I have just left a little rat here and not really even placed any flooring. As you are aware by now, I'm sure, my process is kind of chaotic, but although it is chaotic, I always try when I'm building, especially an exterior piece, if I have an idea, even a smallest kind of idea for something, I kind of paste elements there and start building or build a little something that would give me an idea when I go back and place interior or even make any changes, just to kind of give me that initial push, so I don't have to kind of just wait for something to pop up and the idea is not lost. Now there is this other section here on this side that opens up, and I've placed this little piece here. Basically it's an empty kind of square place, but I have an idea what to do here, and I will not really reveal it yet, but I have this notion of placing these little Easter eggs. I might end up changing this entry, so it's kind of a slide-in tray instead of this door. Not really decided whether I should leave it as the way it is or not, because these might kind of be an issue when I place the grand staircase. Might be problematic, but we'll see, doesn't really matter. But I have this little idea to place various Easter eggs, not necessarily always Harry Potter related, which kind of works because I do like other Lego sets and other Lego themes that are not Harry Potter, and it would be interesting to kind of place them in hidden places here and there, wherever possible, of course, in a Harry Potter setting. But I don't, for example, want Batman to be having dinner in the Great Hall next to Dumbledore, if you know what I mean. But if he's like hidden somewhere where you have to kind of open up and see, oh, he's hiding there and he's doing something, but when you look at the overall model, you can't see him, I think that is okay. Tell me what you think about that idea. Anyway, I don't have some of the very important elements for this idea here. And that's why it's empty. Otherwise, I would have loved to build it, and I would have waited to build it before making this video, but this might take maybe another 10 or even after New Year's until these pieces arrive. I wish that they would arrive earlier, but they didn't, and I didn't really want to have such a delay. I really do my best to give you an update every 10 days. I see so many channels that they're building various things, but then you don't see an update for 2 months, and then they give you this video that is 10 minutes, and you see all these grand things that they've done, but there isn't really enough time to kind of cover everything. And I really want to give a process every time and show you every little thing that I've done, how I've done it, so you can kind of build with me, even if it's mentally building. That's at least something that I would love to watch. So that's why it's the kind of content I'm trying to make. Now, am I making it the best way possible? Probably not, but you live and learn. Hopefully I will improve as time goes on. Anyway, now over here, going back into it, sorry for digressing so much. There is this little staircase that I've made over here, and it leads up here to this upper floor. Now, initially, this whole section here, from here to up here, should be one floor. But I've decided, well, what's the point of making this gigantic tall floor? I mean, this is already pretty tall, like 3.5 or 4 minifigs tall. So let's use this space. Let's make one more floor. And if you remember from before, because this thing is being rebuilt, obviously, before we had a different building that was wider, bit not so tall, and we had Filch's office there, which one of the few interior things that I have built initially, because I kind of saw it in my mind how to do it. And as I was taking everything apart, I thought, well, let's put Filch's office here, and we could use this space, because if we put it over here on this upper section, it has no windows, because Filch's office has no windows, it's dark, and we can use this space over here, and this way it would work. Now, Filch's office is probably not here. As I've mentioned before, Filch's office is not specified to be anywhere, even in the books. So I felt like it's totally okay for me to place it wherever I want. And this is the only modular kind of section. So this thing pops off, as you've seen already. And I've made this little door over here that you could open. And I've made sure that this snaps over here, because otherwise, if you place the building over here and it kind of doesn't have a latch, it kind of, you see this gap here when you look at the Great Hall from this angle, which is a normal angle to look at it, and kind of bothered me. In this way, when this thing snaps in over here, it's very solid, and it doesn't even show that there is a kind of a door here. But this way, you can see the way it is, you can reach in, and you can even show it properly. And I think that's important. Now, I've added pretty much everything that was in before. I've added some more posters, changed the lamp a little bit, and the overall composition. I believe this was gray before, but I've changed it to dark, to brown, obviously, to reddish brown, because it should be wood, these shelves. It looks better anyway. And yeah, this little cat over here, it's the only cat. Well, I have a few more other cats, but the other ones are white. That represents Mrs. Norris currently. Again, we don't have a Mrs. Norris minifig. And this one will play the role of Mrs. Norris for the time being. The composition is kind of similar to the previous Filch's offices I've shown you. And the only thing that's missing is the floor. And I've not really decided how exactly to do the floor. I don't want it to be one color tiles. Again, I want to do some kind of a pattern, which I'm not going to do right now, simply because I might decide to add some other things, and I don't want to change it. And yeah, also I'm not really sure I have all the pieces right now to create a decent floor. So that's the only thing. Basically, we'll just remove these things and place the floor. It's really quickly, but I want just to take a little bit more time before doing that. But that's Filch's office. Again, I think it looks decent. We have all the elements that should be in Filch's office. Some brooms. There's a little piece of poo over there that was in the previous version. A broom, a mop, place where Filch stores all the confiscated items. A little desk for him, the lamp, the stool. I kind of like this composition, because a student that's been brought in Vilch's office could kind of stay under the lamp, which is the only source of lighting in the room. He's being interrogated, which is what I assume it feels like when you're being brought by Filch in his office. So that's why Ron is so scared and he's grabbing to this. So it's like he's saying, "You gonna chain with that, man?" Anyway, if you think there's some elements in Filch's office that should be present and are not, feel free to tell me. But I kind of, when I build things, I kind of want them to sit a little bit in my mind because I get some ideas later on and I don't want to kind of say, well, this is done. So for now it looks like this. If I make any changes, eventually I will make sure that I will show you and explain. Now this whole building, see, now when you snap it in, kind of doesn't even look like there is anything there. This whole building took me like 2 days of solid building to make because I was experiencing various issues with it. First, I really wanted to place this staircase over here, and then I was limited by the size of the building. I couldn't make it wider, and then the staircase kind of needed to fit and not to look terribly out of place. I know that this door over here, really need to buy a stand for my camera. Anyway, this door over here kind of looks weird, I know. And I forgotten to place torches on these middle kind of sections there. My bad. It kind of looks weird because, I mean, I did my best to make sure that there is enough space for a minifig to technically go in there and take the stairs. And make sure that this section over here, as you take the stairs downwards, is long enough between the stairs, the steps, and the floor of this. So a minifig could go inside and down the stairs without hitting its head. I mean, see what kind of things bothered me when I built. So I went back a few times, made sure that it was perfect. Now, I know you can't see that. I mean, I really wanted for you to be able to see the downward staircase. And I might end up changing this section here so you can pop it out. So just you can see. But there isn't really anything to see. There isn't any space for me to add anything, really, other than floor, which I have not yet added. So, I don't know. Because it's really important for this to be solid as well. I don't want it to be kind of clunky. There's already so many moving pieces here. I mean, there is this and this over here and this, and I really wanted a solid construction here. And if there isn't anything to see there, why should I be able, like, why should this be movable? I don't know. But I'm not happy with either, kind of. Not happy the way it is right now. Not 100% happy, but I think it's better than to be removable. Now, if we have like a little light over here, or a light brick, which I might end up adding just to light up this side of the stairwell, it might be better. I know it looks really dark now, but if we put some small lights here and there, I think it will look a lot better, and we won't have an issue over here. Oh yeah, this corridor over here. Now, this is the section you reach when you go up these steps. And it's kind of a little of a foyer before you reach this door to Filch's office. And I've placed this little, lock on the door. I've kind of left the space because I don't really know what to place here. And for now I've placed these panels over here, which I will replace with bricks eventually, because I just don't know. I might want to put something on the walls, but I don't really have any idea what should be here. I want to put something interesting. Maybe some paintings or like a bench, because what if more than one person needs to be brought to Filch's office? You know how you need to wait in front of the principal's office? I don't, Filch's not the principal, but you know what I mean. So we could put a little bench here, but that's like the easiest thing that we could put. Maybe there could be something more interesting, which I have not really figured out what that could be. But yeah, the space is there. And yeah, I think overall it looks okay. I've put some floor here, nothing over there, but we will put more flooring. I think it's a good addition, and I think it needs very little improvement. Now I've placed these tan tiles over here so they don't stick out, and I've placed these dark tan over here because they'll either be hidden or you won't be able to see them. These tan pieces are kind of more expensive for some reason than any other color. So I've really tried to conserve them when possible, wherever possible, because I will need a lot of them over here and in other various places. So this will be hidden as well. So everywhere where I can get away with it, basically, I've used some other color. It kind of looks weird when you pop it off, but when I reach the point where I have so many pieces I don't really care, I can fix these things, but for now it will be like this. Now over here, this hole, maybe somebody else is I know I've been back into the hobby for only a couple of months now, but maybe somebody who is more experienced with making these kind of doors knows better. But for me, whenever I make one of these and this side is against another kind of wall, this kind of doesn't close properly because this edge over here, whenever I try to close it, it hits the other door. So it's not very smooth, and I don't want to, force it every time or kind of push this wall over here a little bit so this can go smoothly. So this way, as this will be hidden again because it will be pressing against this wall, I've made it in such a way so when you look at it from here, you don't see it. When you look at it from here, you don't see it, and you can still open it, and this hole kind of works. So this can open up to here. Now maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm using the wrong kind of hinges. Maybe I'm doing something else. I don't know. I have not really seen anything that would explain why this is happening the way it is. But if somebody wants to enlighten me, feel free. Now, for example, here, as we don't have a wall over here, this obviously just closes because there's nothing that it can hit. But I would prefer if it was up to here and there was a spire over here, because I don't like this kind of idea. But for now, it is the way it is. Now I've placed the building back on its place, and I'm gonna do a little overview. As you can see, I know last time I promised to show you more of the courtyard, but the pieces are not with me, so if I don't have the pieces, I can't build it. And I was initially planning to do some rock work action, and by that I mean this side over here. I wanted to extend the rocks and kind of fix everything here up to, to kind of cover some of this side and to make it more natural. But I kind of got inspired to build this building, and I'm not sorry that I did it, because I was planning just to tackle it a little bit, to test some of the things that I've calculated. And as I was starting to build and build, it just went on, and I built for a long session the first day, and then I was really eager to finish it the second day. And then I got some ideas of the interior, built that, then I wanted to build the roof and to do that and everything. Then I did some more changes the next several days because it looked kind of a lot worse than it is now. So I ironed out some things. And yeah, I'm really happy that I managed to do it. I think it looks nice. I know that as it is now, it looks kind of unfinished still, as there are some things sticking out, and this section here, this I explained, and everything that I've said already. But I believe once things are in place, it will look very natural and very nice. And it's very important for me, as I said, everything that is worth seeing, for somebody to be able to see it, for me to be able to film it, If somebody would come and would say, whoa, I want to see what's inside the building, I don't have to say, well, it's over there, can you see it over there in that corner? I don't want to do that. Anyway, next time, hopefully, I don't know if it will be before or after New Year's. It really depends on my schedule. I have so many things to do, not concerning Lego, and there's obviously work. I'll be working also as well during the holidays because I have to. And I don't know if I'll have time, but if those pieces arrive, I might actually build some of this and give you an update before New Year's. If not, you'll see me in January. But I'm planning to, hopefully next time for real, we'll be able to extend this whole other section. So if we say that we've built half of it, we'll build the next half, and we will see the full courtyard, and then hopefully move to the courtyard roof, which I'm pretty confident in my calculations, and but I'm still a little bit fearful that something will go wrong. But let's be positive and fingers crossed. Also, again, we can work on the base. Now I've placed some various figures here just so I don't lose them, so they don't lay around the table. But yeah, so we can build more of these bases for the roof. We need to build them over here, and then we can start to building the modules of the roof itself. I really want to do that very soon, and I've ordered the pieces. It will take them some time to arrive, but I hope, because I really want to make like all of pictures of this building with the roof and the towers. Obviously 3 more towers over here. I think it really look nice, and can't really wait to finish that and the courtyard, so it will really look like something finished. And after that, obviously, we'll start on the grand staircase or other things part of the castle, and all of the other things that we need to iron out. As the courtyard, we'll need a lot of rocks, we'll need to elevate this, we'll need to finish the rocks on the other side, and the fence that goes around the Great Hall. Other things, add more trees, add grass, add flowers, other various items, and probably benches and some lights and I don't know what. But that's basically roughly the plan ahead. Now, how quick that will happen, I don't know. And frankly, I am not bothered, because I don't want to rush anything. When I rush things and I try to do things against my will, against my inner feeling of doing it, then I just don't enjoy it. And I'm really doing this to have fun. And hopefully you'll have fun with me, as I'm rambling all the time. But anyway, I think that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed this little bit of what I've shown you. I wish you, if I don't see you again, I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas with your loved ones and family. And if if you don't see another update for the next couple of weeks, we will speak and you'll hear from me in 2022. Thank you for watching, and all the best. Bye.